She called it ugly and said it was poorly made. She laughed at my son's poor taste, despite him being very distraught. This was the first time, however, that my husband got very angry at her and asked her to go to her room. She was so scared of his reaction that she went without any protest. This Christmas, Jamie was supposed to be with her mother. On Christmas Eve, her mother dropped her off at our house very early in the morning. Her new husband had decided he didn't want her to go with them to his parents' house, where they usually spend Christmas. Jamie was on the verge of tears, standing there listening to her mother making excuses to my husband and me. My husband hugged Jamie the whole time, and I tried to fight away my tears. After her mom left, she went upstairs to her room to sleep. I also went to sleep since we don't usually wake up this early on holidays. My husband went to the gym, and later he was going to the train station to bring my parents who were going to celebrate Christmas with us. When I woke up the next morning, I heard my son screaming and crying downstairs. I ran down in horror. Jamie had decided to break the stool my son had built with his grandpa. She was trying to shove it in the fireplace. When she saw me, she smirked and said she didn't want ugly furniture in her house. I pulled her away and told her to go to her room and try to get the pieces of wood out of the fireplace. That was when she threw a scalding hot liquid in my face. It was hot cocoa. I yelled in pain, and my son started panicking, so I ran to him to tell him that I was fine. Jamie stood there laughing. I took my son upstairs and went back to her. I grabbed her hard by her arm and started pulling, pushing, and dragging her up to her room and locked the door. My husband came home with my parents moments later. My mom took me to the emergency room, and my son insisted on coming with me. I had a second-degree burn on my cheek and neck. When I went home, my husband was so mad at me for assaulting Jamie by using force to get her to her room. He told me I should have had compassion knowing how hurt she was by her mother's abandonment. I told him that I have had enough of this. I am living a nightmare half of my life, having to go on eggshells in my own home whenever she's around. My son is a prisoner in his own room when she's living with us, too terrified to cross a boundary of hers. I told him that I didn't know how to handle this. It was a mistake from the beginning that I wasn't allowed to be a parental figure in her life with authority. He disagreed and told me that she has a kind heart and needed patience, but the thing is I don't think she does. She targeted my son's handiwork, fully aware of its sentimental value. Then she targeted my face because she always hated the fact that my husband thinks I am beautiful and is open with complimenting my eyes and smile. I didn't stay there for Christmas. I took my son and parents and went to my parents' home where I live now. My husband is in panic mode. He's been texting and calling me all the time, trying to get me to move back and work things out. Jamie even texted apologizing, but I don't know what to do. I love him so much, but I'm ashamed to say that I hate that girl. My son starts hyperventilating at the thought of living with her again. And what about my unborn baby? I feel sick at the thought of having half custody and being at the mercy of his half-sister when it's my husband's week. This thought makes me want to have an abortion. Please tell me if there's another solution to this hell I'm living.